So a woman is looking for a man who will be a provider, who will be a leader, who will show God's favor, right? Something must be there, or the woman is not going to be comfortable.
Life is beautiful, and every now and then when it doesn't feel so, we have to look up and see the beauty that lies in it. You ask questions like, am I the only one this is happening to? Or will I survive this? Hey, I'm done it, and with God, you can. This is Therapy for Jesus.
But let's talk about financial issues. Because sometimes when you go into marriage, I'm going to tell you as a man, right? As a man, you think that, okay, you know, you find somebody you love, if you even sleep on the banana tree, oh, she's just going to be comfortable sleeping on the banana tree. You know, you're not
because you're in love. Because you love the person. It's
because,
okay.
Because yes. But the truth is, I heard one sister, prayer mother, once says that when she was getting married, she told her husband that we don't need anything. I just love you. I want to get married. But she said, Corey, 6 months into the marriage, when I was washing up this whole heap of clothes, I started telling my husband, saying, have you buy a washing machine? Or is she not going to wash any clothes? And so there was an issue now with financing, buying a washing machine.
Or there was now a problem between reality and what you have in your mind, like what a marriage is supposed to be.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And we find that if somebody don't come out and begin to tell person that you have to guard your marriage, you know, because simple things can become a problem. Or if we don't come out and say, hey, especially for men, that hey, you're going to be expected to be a provider, right? I mean, the lady will love you, but there's a part of her based off we want to say a type of rule. We know nowadays this generation is saying there's no rules, but the truth is, biblically, the man is supposed to be a provider and a protector and a priest, because that's what they were. It wasn't written out like the 10 Commandments, but if you look at their lives and how they function from the old days to now, you'd find that even when Jesus was on the cross and he was about to die,
yes,
he looked at John, his disciple, and said, John,
take care of my mother.
Take care of my mother,
yeah.
Right? So you realize that men were the caregivers and the protectors and the providers. And I want to use this as a means to jump off and say this, that we as men, we must be providers. Men must be providers. Men must be providers. And I know this might not be biblical, and be some men who say, Pastor, we don't have any money, you know, but that is foolishness, because if God said, no, I believe a man must be a provider and be able to provide
before he enters the marriage.
Unless God give him some precise word
during or after
or before.
But
under normal circumstances, a man should have the finances to be able to take care of his family before he enters into a marriage relationship, because he's going to be expected to be a provider. And there are 4 things I would say, Stammers, you can add or take away. I believe a man must reach an age where he is no longer growing and developing. To an extent, he has reached an age of maturity. So what do I say then? This. A 19-year-old person may change so drastically by the time they turn 26 that I would not necessarily recommend that 19-year-old to make a decision for their 28-year-old self and their 30-year-old self and their 26-year-old self. So I believe there must be an age. I believe Christians must be able to say, listen, there needs to be an age where you are mature enough. And maybe it's not a specific age. Maybe there's a level of maturity, because men mature at different levels, right? Because let me tell you, maybe I'm not sure how much person, I'm not seeing how much persons are online, but men today tend to be occupied with a lot of things that my father would never be occupied with growing up. That means men today will buy a PlayStation 5, right? For a lot of money, and they'll be playing video games, and they are men. I'm not talking about 19-year-old men, 20-year-old men, 40-year-old men, 50-year-old men will be playing video games. So there's a level of maturity, right? And I play video games in the earlier part of the marriage, right?
But even as you're saying, just to enhance your point, even
Make sure I finish this point now. Let's see people think I'm playing PlayStation 5. So go on.
I was saying, even statistics or psychologists will tell you that between the ages of 12 to I think it's 25, the maximum, that the brain naturally, it does not develop, it's not fully developed for the part of the brain that is responsible for real conscious decision making. It's not really developed. So that's the reason why you see like a lot of persons, which are young people, you'd recognize that driving fast is their thing. Going to parties and just partying the entire night. The conscious part of them naturally is not yet revived, and worse if you were grown in an environment where your values, your Christian values or your morals are not really enhanced. You'd recognize that those type of persons take longer also.
And that's why I believe, having said that, right, I remember to clear up the video game thing. And that's why I believe, right, that whenever Christians are going to get married, right, I believe they must get counseling.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a professional counselor.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it definitely have to be, yes, you should have your pastor come in and do some, at least 1 or 2 times meeting, some spiritual leader. But there will be things that persons will know that maybe at 23-year-old female or male, they just don't know it. Because they will think that all their life they're going to be that 23-year-old, right? And let me just say this. I remember at high school, there were persons I saw at high school and I would have said, God, oh God, I couldn't be in a relationship with this person, right? I wasn't saved. And then there was never a sexual relationship. But I'm just saying, it's the person going to school.
Yeah,
it's natural, right?
Naturally, yeah.
No. I would look back and say, is that the front door?
No.
But no, I would say, right? No, I would say, God, thank you, never answer that prayer. Because at that time, I was not mature. What I was looking at
is not what makes a good marriage.
Yeah, man. That's what I wasn't looking at the right thing. So somebody should be there to help Christians to be able to make the right decision. Because a female may see a male, no disrespect to the men, but she might see a man and she just love the man now work.
Looks.
He can't pay rent. He can't help with nothing in the house, but she just see him and she like him and whatever. And she go into a marriage. And a couple years later, and I want to touch on a few things here before going on. But hey, you must be physically mature. You must be
mentally
mature.
Spiritually mature.
And you must be financially mature.
Yes.
Right? You must be financial. And I will give a pass. I don't know if you agree. With a female, if a female has a strong male, she can grow into maturity. But you cannot have a male.
Well, that's weak.
That is weak.
Jellyback man.
Yeah, true. So I mean, one of them. So, yeah. Sorry.
Jellyback man.
The man, if the man is weak, right? And I have something here. Let me go to this. I'm not gonna say it. Yes, because if the man is just buying, when they talk about financial mismanagement, because I was there and I was saying, God, well, can I? Because I believe, this is what I believe, right? I believe a lot of marriages that break up over finances, it is the woman who leaves. This is what I personally think, right? But think about it. If you have a man and the man have his family, and I hope none of these fall into my category, and he's buying expensive clothes every day, but yet he's not doing anything for his family or his children. He's buying the most expensive phone, so him have the iPhone. Hello? The most expensive iPhone. The most expensive smartwatch. Him have the most expensive video game. Inside the house, he have the biggest sound system. Inside the house, him have all kind of stuff. Him buy room sink car, but him no care wife go nowhere. Listen, he no invest in his marriage. He does not invest in his academic. What you say now? He no build up himself academically. He no buy book to read. He's doing nothing to advance. It's gonna cause problem. Now a person say, but pastor, if your wife is a Christian, brother and sister, that is true. If it was perfect. But when you look at the men in the Bible, let's start the truth. When you look at Abraham, I don't see God lifting up any. What should I say now? Oh my God. Let me say this. And we're going to go to the women, so we're not here to bash men. But I see that all of these men, they were kind of men who people could look up to and say, yeah, man. And I believe even if you're struggling, even if you go through season like Job, because Job had it. But look at his wife's reaction, right? Because I'm sure Job never chose any idiot woman, right? I'm sure Job would have chosen. But when Job lose everything, you see his wife like the wife is saying, why don't you curse God and die? She never said, let us curse God and let us die. No, she said, you curse God and you die. Apparently, maybe she was thinking, listen, this thing not really work out in a Job, so now go move on from this. We can't take the struggles.
Meaning it wasn't really the norm for a man not to have anything to supply, So basically, she look at it as the status change. The ability is no longer there as a provider. So man, just take away your son.
Yeah, man, that's sad. We do not support Job's wife. But what we're saying is that the human inclination is still there, right? Because it is said that time changes, but who we are as people, they say the human instinct. Take away our technologies, take away the advancement. At the core, we are still just human beings, like Job's wife, right? We might be in a more advanced, we're driving cars, we're watching TV, but the natural inclination
and expectation,
they remain the same.
Yeah.
So a woman is looking for a man who will be a provider, who will be a leader, who will show God's favor, right? Something must be there, or the woman is not going to be comfortable, right? And we're going to go on to some other things. So if the man is there for just, he doesn't invest any time, and I know I can talk as a man. Before I got married, I used to say, oh, people take tens of thousands of dollars and go to hotel. They never get me go to a hotel. Never get me go. Unless I get a day pass. Never get me spend money and go to a hotel. Never spend the money. But I realized something, though we have really been overnight friends for a while, but I come to realize something. If you are going to invest, right? If you're going to invest,
you're going to be married.
Because let me tell you the truth. You think my wife don't know, so this thing I never get, I don't drop out of the sky. This is the difference, right? So sometimes as men, right, we will invest in things, but we don't invest in our marriage, right? And sometimes when the person says financial difficulties, it is the wife, because the wife is seeing, your wife see, I realize something. Anything I buy, I'm sure if you look expensive, my wife checks the price of it. She don't tell me, but I come to realize, she go on Google, Amazon and type in, so if she see me buy something like this, she say no. She go on Amazon, type in no, and find out how much it costs. And maybe not all women are going to do that. But imagine if you have a wife, and over the years, your wife is realizing that, you spend about $100,000. You spend about $300,000 this year. You do this, you do that. And up to now, he never buy me a shrimps yet. He never buy me no lobster. Hey, wives, you don't need to get some husband on the line now, so that in the marriage, if they're not, carry the phone near them. Come here, build up yourself. They will spend money on things, right? They will spend money. And as men, let me tell you one of the things that we will do too. We will spend money on harebrained schemes that we think is going to multiply our finances. And most of the time, these schemes, they turn out to not, right? So we invest money, we're going to buy goat, we're going to buy cow, we're going to buy a piece of land, we're going to put cash cap on it. And sometimes we work out to nothing, and the wife will sit back and say, okay, so you just spend $300,000, it come to nothing, and I am here, you never take me anywhere. You never carry me go Baskin Robbins. You never buy any ice cream. I never go to Baskin. We didn't go one time. Anyway, yes, we went to Baskin. No, never know. But on a serious note, if a man is not investing financially, especially in this day and age in his marriage, the marriage, even if the wife does not leave, the marriage will have a great deal of deficiency in the marriage, right? Mm-hmm. And we're not here to bash men, we're just talking about trends, we're talking about the finances in a marriage. The finances in a marriage, they must be, your wife must at times be able to feel that you care enough to spend. Because it is said that wherever a man's money is going, that is the thing he loves the most.
All right. Okay, let me add a little bit more, right? Because of course, donkey said the world on level, right?
Whenever you can hear they're talking. If somebody's saying something.
No, everybody's saying.
Okay, all right.
Right? So the donkeys, people say donkey said the world on level, right? So of course, as my husband is saying, that there are going to be times, right, when a man will invest in himself and he never takes a chance to invest in his wife, right? So you can see that person can have a self-centered, I'd call it a self-centered person, right? Who apparently, to me, we call it selfish, right? Selfish. And maybe the person have root issues that they need to be working at, right? But there are also men who, ladies, when you meet them, they never used to put themselves together. They never used to carry out themselves, right? They don't believe that you must spend money, you must do this and that. And sometimes you get into marriage too with this person and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be the change for them, right? Or maybe they catch on you, and them take them time and them come. But one of the things that the Bible also says that even before you get married, the Bible also tells us that, listen, a man should love his wife as he loves his own body, right? So even for you single ladies that are out there, you need to be looking too. You need to be looking, how is this man taking care of himself? Does this man believe that, listen, every now and then I must buy a nice shirt for myself?
Yeah, true.
Does this man believe that, listen, I must go to the dentist and take care of his teeth? No matter. Just an example, right? Does this man believe? Because listen, I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes, and this is from a woman's perspective, right? Because sometimes you meet men for real, and the men, some things are not a big deal to them, right? And because it's not a big deal to them, you enter into the marriage, right? And we can talk about your marriage, right? As a man, naturally, some things were not a big deal to you, right? Some things were not a big deal.
Remember my keyword.
Some things were not a big deal to my husband, right? And I saw it
as a... You're like...
for example, my husband was not a concert person.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right? No. And I was a concert person. Yeah. So I like going to concerts. So when I meet my husband was not a concert person. But if I was going to concert, my husband would say to me, I'm coming, right? Or my husband, that pay for going or something like that. So when you get into marriage now, that's an example because, persons might be here. And for me, coming to concert, that is you investing your time with me, accompanying me, right? Investing in our marriage. We're spending that time and making memories together. So that is something important for me. So when you get into marriage now, you're saying, yeah, the person I like go, but here's an opportunity, to help the person too. But after a while, the reality is it's not gonna always be like that. And for me, it could be like a concert, but there are other issues that are underlying issues, right? That you see before, the marriage.
So that
the person not they're not investing in that aspect. And as a woman, you must know what you like too.
I can live out,
right? And what you can live with.
Because the man wasn't doing it before and get married.
Yeah.
Ladies, let me tell you this, right? I'm gonna say this. Don't go into a marriage thinking you can change the man. Right? Because a lot of times women will see, I don't want to call it red flags. Because what would be a red flag is like if the man is a beater. I'd say that's a red flag. If he's a cheater, beater, etc. But I don't call red flags just mean that the man does not do certain things.
Has little faults.
Yeah, little faults, right? Yeah. I don't that because nobody's perfect. But don't go into it knowing it's something you cannot live with.
Or you think you can change it.
Are you going to change? So if the man is a man when he's going out, him have on him cardigan and him water boom. Right? Because I can tell you, if you didn't give me a keyword, we made an agreement. If we're going on a road in this discussion, I have a keyword that I will use so my wife know that, listen, no matter what your sucker, we're live, I don't want to stop you, so I have my keyword, but she didn't give me one. But the truth is this. For me, I was under the impression I could dress well because I obviously attracted and landed this beautiful woman. But now, every day, I am going through the door. What annoys me, no matter how me dress like what we said, just like puss. As soon as I walk out, it doesn't matter what I have on. My wife's gonna say no.
That's not like when he looks hot. I said, babe, you look hot.
But that must be once in a blue moon, right? But what is, and my wife consistently wants me to dress a particular way. But I am of the belief that I think I know how to dress, right? I think I know how to dress. So I sometimes become, I'm not going to say we're reaching a breaking point in marriage. But the point is this. There are women who will see things in a man. The man not go nowhere. The man not go on a party. Him not go on a restaurant. And then when you get married now, you're upsetting the marriage.
Yes.
So, oh, him not go. You know from day one because my
Yes.
mother told me something. Can I share something with you? I think I told my wife this, right? My mother told me something. And women, you must tell your sons and your daughters things so that their marriage can survive. My mother said something to me. She said, Corey, if you're not going to buy your wife roses after you're married, don't give her no rose before she married. And I've lived by that. Don't do the things because sometimes because I'm going to tell you this.
I guess people want to know
Since we have been married, baby, we're Jamaicans, we don't believe in the rose thing. But if you want roses, I will get you roses.
You have given me.
Yes, I gave a rose, some bush one time, something like this. But let me say this, on a more serious note, right? We have to be careful that you think persons are going to change, because for me, the truth is, I went to the concerts with my wife back then, not because I wanted to go. Because we never married yet, so we never want to go on a concert to find nobody else. So I'm not a big fan of gospel concerts, right? I'm not a big fan, but I may go, and I guess I'll have to go more often because of COVID. Since COVID ended, we didn't go, but we used to go every now and then, right? So the long and short of it is this. Not because you're a Christian, and we're going to move on to some other things. You just feel that, oh, so I'm a Christian, so that should be good enough. I'm a Christian man, you should be glad.
Right.
I'm a Christian man, I go to church, I'm not going to cheat on you, right? Because sometimes, as a man, that's what I believe my wife should be happy with. I'm not going to cheat on you because I know I'm not going to cheat.
Yeah.
100% by God's grace, I'm not going to, I don't think that's in my future, right? I know I try to provide, so I put little food in the house. So guess what? You should be head over heels. You should just be rejoicing and blowing confetti that you find a Christian man that is putting food in the fridge and paying to what it is.
Cheating and
you're not cheating.
And abusing.
I'm not abusing. So you're at one mouth, I'm not abusing, I'm not cheating, I'm providing. So as context. But sometimes it takes more than that. You know something? I come to realize something, brothers and sisters. I come to realize something. You have to invest in the most important things. Cameras will come and go. Yes, at that time I was using it, I was doing some live stream. But the things that, so it's your relationship with Jesus Christ, and the Bible says, as Christ, what is this? Love the church. So husbands are to love their wives. I'm trying to go there, right? So the long and short of it is this: men must invest their time, their energy, and it's on hot. But you must invest your money in promoting the well-being and the happiness of your wife.